Welcome back, everybody. A U.S. Navy SEAL facing a court-martial in an abuse case that has sparked major controversy here in the U.S. Matthew McCabe charged with assaulting a terror suspect, the detainee accused of taking part in a horrific attack in which the bodies of 4 American contractors were burned and dragged through the streets. Steve Santani is joining us now live from the courthouse in Norfolk, Virginia. Steve, what happens today? Set the scene for us.
Well, Uma, this is the Naval Station Norfolk, where the court-martial for Matthew McCabe begins today. Now, we don't expect to hear any opening arguments, even the selection of the jury today. We're going to have some pre-trial motions, but they're pretty interesting motions. One of them is whether to allow the admissibility of these photos that were taken of the detainee after he was allegedly beaten, photos that don't show him being beaten very badly. The prosecution's going to try to keep those pictures out. Behind me and around me, you're going to see some protesters today. About 200 people are going to turn out here at the main gate to the Naval Station. As you know, there's been a huge outpouring of support all across the country for Matthew McCabe and the 2 other Navy SEALs who have now been acquitted. About 2 weeks ago, they were acquitted in their courts-martial. Here's what one former Navy SEAL told us, what he thinks about the charges against McCabe. Let's listen.
You have a terrorist who accused these guys of punching them, and you have 3 of our most elite warriors off the battlefield, and it's in the Al-Qaeda playbook to cry foul, cry abuse, or cry torture, and it'll get attention. That's exactly what's happened. So, I mean, you have a horrible message to our troops who are serving there every single day and worrying about what they can and can't do on the objective.
And a lot of people sharing that opinion. We'll see what happens in the courtroom today. The attorney for McCabe, Neil Puckett, expected to file a motion to dismiss all the charges, and we'll see if the judge in this case agrees with that. Uma?
So you mentioned that the 2 other Navy SEALs have been acquitted. On what grounds does McCabe's attorney want the charges dropped?
Yeah, they were acquitted on similar charges. McCabe, however, faces assault charges. One of the main papers he's filing with the court today that we haven't seen before is he's alleging that on April 22nd on the O'Reilly factor, Geraldo Rivera appeared and said that he had sources with the staff of the convening authority, which in this case is the Major General in charge of all the special forces in the military, Charles Cleveland, that he had information that Charles Cleveland is being scapegoated in this case, feels that he's being scapegoated, and that Cleveland would very much like to do the right thing. And so what they're going to file is a motion to dismiss based on the fact that there is influence on the convening authority, the general in this case, from higher up, or at least there are indications of that, and the attorney is going to introduce that in court. I can read you part of that motion. It says the clear implication is that Major General Cleveland is under pressure to charge the accused in this case in the wake of Abu Ghraib, regardless of the merits of this case. And a lot of people, of course, have said this is an overreaction to the abuse of the prisoners, the detainees at Abu Ghraib in Iraq. Uma?
Well, it's going to all be very interesting as it unfolds today. Lots of folks are keeping a close watch on this case. Thank you very much, Steve Santani, for bringing us up to date.
You bet.